Hello, I'm Brigantia, Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Saturday and welcome to Wicca 202. This week we are going over the willow. The willow tree, whether we're talking about weeping willows, which are my personal favorites, or the black willow or the pussy willow, they have very strong associations with witchcraft. And I want to go over a little bit of general information. Some of this will be scientific and mundane, and we'll get into some magical correspondences as we go along. But to begin with, willows, especially weeping willows, are often found bordering lakes and ponds. They are native to the northern hemisphere and they originally came from China. It is a deciduous tree from the Salicaceae family and the Salix genus, which comprises about 400 species. It prefers to grow in cool and temperate zones, provided there is sufficient dampness in the soil and enough hours of direct sunlight. Hence why you will also find them planted around ponds, because they have enough dampness in the soil, and oftentimes if they're the only thing by that pond, you know they're getting plenty of sunlight. Generally, they will grow to a height of 35 to 50 feet-ish. They might be as wide as that. And on rare occasions, some willows have actually grown up to 70 feet. So you know they had extremely ideal conditions and were well taken care of. The roots of the willow are extremely strong. Oftentimes, they are bigger than the trunk of the tree itself. When it blossoms out or leaves out, this portion of the tree is very rich in nectar, and that draws in the bees, and of course, that helps the trees pollinate. Ideally, willows are planted in areas that require regular draining or are very prone to flooding. This is a way to naturally deal with that particular circumstance. The tree has an astonishing capacity to absorb water, and because it has such a strong and thick root, the tree is going to remain stable, and of course, that prevents soil erosion. So you're taking care of a lot of problems all at once just by having a willow tree there. However, willows have very short life expectancies, about 30 years. So when you think about how long other species of trees tend to live, sometimes hundreds and hundreds of years, 30 years, that's a pretty short run. But that's how it is. Some folk names for this tree include Osier, Soleil, which is also the name of the fifth month in the Celtic tree calendar. Also, it's called the Salicin willow, Sal tree, tree of enchantment, white willow, witches, aspirin, withe, and withy. The willow has receptive energy and it's linked with the heart chakra and it's tied to the direction of west. And if you will remember from past classes, you will remember that the west is considered the gateway to the afterlife and it's associated with the element of water. And as you'll go along, you'll see why it's so fitting to associate the willow with all of this. As far as zodiac signs go, think Aries, Pisces, Taurus, and Capricorn. Planetary bodies, the moon and Venus. Elements, fire and water. The day of the week is Monday. And the tree is also associated with the Fae, bees, cranes, and doves. Now we'll look to some deity associations for goddesses in the Greek, which of course this would include their Roman counterparts. Think Artemis, Athena, Ceres, Hecate, Hera, and Persephone. And the Celtic, Brigid, Caradwyn, Danu, the Morrigan, and Rhiannon, and of course Norse, we have Hel. Now, on the gods on the Greek and Roman side, Hermes, Poseidon, and Zeus. In the Celtic, Arwen and Belenus. And in the Norse, Loki. General powers of the willow tree include beauty, love, divination, protection, healing, the afterlife, enchantment, prophecy, blessings, and witchcraft. Now, I want to encourage you to remember that these are not all of the uses with which you can that are associated with the willow, or that you could use the willow to satisfy a particular intention. But these are just some of the more common things. Now, everyday uses of the willow include both the medicinal and the mundane. This is a commonly chosen wood to make cricket bats, some furniture, brooms, fishing nets, boxes, flutes, baskets, toys, and veneers. It's also used to produce pulp to make paper, and as well as making charcoal for artistic use. On the medical side of things, willow bark creates a compound that is actually used to make aspirin, and in folk medicine, the willow bark is chewed on to reduce pain. It has been used as an anti-inflammatory agent, an antipyretic, antiseptic, antioxidant, and an immune system booster. It's been used to treat headaches, toothaches, backaches, arthritis, PMS, menstrual cramps, muscular pain and strains, cardiovascular disorders, cuts, wounds, burns, colds, flu, fever, rheumatoid and inflammatory disorders such as bursitis, arthritis, joint pain, carpal tunnel syndrome, and tendonitis. So It is obviously a plant that we need to keep around. Willow has a number of ritual and magical uses. There are burial mounds in the UK that are situated nearby to marshes and lakes, and oftentimes they were lined with willows, likely because of its symbolic associations with death. And I was thinking that perhaps this tradition could be revived for modern pagan burials, maybe planting willows near headstones if that was possible. Of course, being very careful with the roots because you don't want the root messing up your headstone. Or maybe planting a willow where the ashes are buried or scattered. Or on a smaller scale, you could even incorporate willow branches into funeral floral arrangements. Willow wood is one of the preferred woods for making ceremonial brooms and magical wands. Every part of the willow tree is useful to guard against evil, either for both people and households. The old expression of knock on wood, that's thought to come from knocking on willow wood specifically to avert ill luck and unfriendly energies. Healing spells are enhanced by willow bark, and when you're using willow bark or a derivative from it medicinally, you can also use a healing spell in conjunction with that. Combine the mundane with the magical to get a better effect. And if you wish to attract love into your life, carry willow leaves in your person or put a willow leaf inside of a locket and keep that close to your heart. So, homework October 1st through the 7th. Number 1. Do additional research regarding the magical usage of willow and make notes. 2. If you live nearby to a park or another public place that has weeping willows, try to visit one of the trees, maybe even taking the time to meditate underneath its branches and open yourself up to those energies. And 3. If you have a local pagan shop in your area, drop by and ask if any of the tools they have are made from willow wood, and just kind of compare them with tools that are made from different woods to see if you just sense anything differently or if something feels a little bit more attuned with your own energies naturally. So that's something to investigate and explore. In the meantime, please leave me your comments, questions, concerns in the comment section below, or come see me on Gilded. There's a link to join the group in the description box. Click on it, and it will take you to our server. It's called Blackbird's Brew, and just should give me a shout and say, hey, I'd like to discuss this, that, or the other, and I will get to you just as soon as I possibly can. But that will do it for this week, and I will see you next time. Bye.